When winning is the only option, the sharpest bettors in the world call me. Not because of what I know, but who I know. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. But talk is cheap, so let me show you. The Syndicate Insider Show starts now.
How was that Hall of Fame game, brother?
A lot of pain.
I got here at 7:45 in the morning, and what can I tell you? Canceled. I get the word, my boy called me from Georgia, he said, it seems to me we're not going to have a football game tonight. I said, what are you talking about? I was wrapped up here looking at screens. It wasn't happening. Guys were flipping out. You've never seen so many people freaking that there was not going to be an NFL meaningless Hall of Fame game, my 30th Hall of Fame game in this business. Listen, I like this. And watch them get blown out this afternoon, 66-82 after they got blown out 66-84, and they're setting a fake trap line for no apparent reason. Don't be one of those guys, and I'm pulling up the line right now, that is going to lay on Ohio State 27.5 unless there's a compelling reason against Bowling Green on opening day, unless the line really is off and the line should be 37 points. The line should be 39 points. The line should be 50 points. Because more times than not on a team like Ohio State, it's an overlay. What wise guys are doing is they're looking to either middle games, or what they're looking to do is they're looking to take advantage of the little schools and the little lines like Texas A&M laying 1 or UCLA against UCLA, which line went from 1 to 1.5. Really no movement whatsoever. They're looking to take advantage of Lafayette against Boise State, which is a compelling matchup for a wise guy player where they're going to say, well, is that a game where I can get some value? The line opened up at 20, approaching a key number of 3 touchdowns at 20, going to 20.5. So if you were looking to get in early, you got a discount because the game is already cracked down, because a lot of people like playing those big home team dogs.
Right.
They're not going to let you grab that 21.5 because they know middlers are playing that, so the line came down. So you'll see a team like that go down to 19.5 and then bounce back up to 21.5 because really somebody might be manipulating to get the low number, then come back and grab the high number or vice versa. Games like the very short numbers, what you're looking for is to see, is there a value in grabbing what you'll see is big blowouts in the short lines. The BYU Arizona University games on neutral fields, pick -1. Take advantage of these. Don't get sucked into the Sunday night Notre Dame Texas game where Notre Dame, because it has the TV rights, is laying 4.5, and at Texas on ABC laying more than a field goal. I'm going to give out this free information right now. Whenever you're in doubt, you don't have information on a game, and the line is 4, take the dog.
Always.
Always. Why? More times than not, what's the game going to land on? 3. You're going to be the guy sitting there going, God, I was laying 4, and they kicked a field goal, and they won by 3. Over and over and over again. Applies applicable to NFL and to college. This is not about watching videos every week for the next 16 weeks, or actually 27 weeks to postseason, and looking for somebody to carnival bark and tell you, pay me, pay me, pay me. Because can you buy a week of picks here?
No.
Can you buy a day of picks here?
Absolutely not.
Can you buy the Monday night game here?
Not here.
Can you buy the Thursday night card here? If you're not looking to treat your betting as a business, and you're not looking to make a 30-day commitment, and you're worried about college and pro football, and you're not worried about making money regardless of whether it's CFL, and I'm very excited because not only is football starting, football, in addition to we've already making money, we hit another draw last night in the MLS, we had the Mexican Premier League the other night. Premier League starts on Saturday
Correct.
in the Royal Crown, the British Commonwealth. So we have real Premier League starting on Saturday, very, very early in the day. And it's a very big crossover time of the year. So get with it, guys. We are global, not local. This is not going to be a football-centric video series that you guys are accustomed to dealing with from wannabe wise guys that want to brag to you about how great they are in football. Because let me tell you something, for 365 days a year, 3 decades later, doing the same thing, I can assure you, if you want access to the sharpest syndicates in the world, pick up the phone and call Mike, or meet Mike in person finally, as he comes out to my Vegas Roundtable in just a few weeks. If you want to listen to us live tomorrow, 1400 AM, Las Vegas on your dial, or as always, you can listen to us live online directly at thesyndicateinsider.com. I'll be streaming here on the live channel. If you are watching this at another area on a pre-recorded video, on a post-recorded video, go to thesyndicateinsider.com at 12:40 Pacific Standard Time. Watch our daily broadcast. We'll flip the switch live, and you will be able to access the live radio show just like you were able to do last week. Once again, we hope you enjoyed the Hall of Fame game,
That was very good.
as I will call the Hall of Shame.
Came down to the wire.
Came down to the wire. And for all you guys that cashed your tickets, you know more about that game than I did. Have a happy, happy Monday. It is one of your few Monday Night Football free days. So go out, take the kid to dinner. I got nothing else to say. Anything you got to say?
Ready to roll.
How do you say ready to roll in Russian?
Davata Pravda.
He said it better than me. Listen to the lyrics.
They didn't want you
I
to
know
know.
they didn't want us to have a Hall of Fame game.
They didn't want you.
I'm the king of Snap, by the way. Snap Syndicate. Listen to the lyrics. I don't know which screen to look at. It's like a studio in here now. We did little changes here for the upcoming football season.
We win every day.
I heard this on Gary V's.
We just win every day.
I had to borrow it. It's pretty tight. We win every day. We'd like to win every day. It's impossible. Anybody that tells you they win every day, boom, slam the phone up on them. You win every day if you practice the right money management. That's how you win every day. You can't win every day if you expect to win and bang your whole bankroll out on a game. We were talking to a guy yesterday on the phone. What was his first name? I'm not going to say any last names ever on a video.
Joseph.
Joseph. Joseph was on the phone, and mid-conversation he said, but there's a game starting at 12 noon. There's a game starting at 12 noon, like he was itching, like he had a disease. I said, what are you talking about? But there's games starting at 12 noon, like we had to strap him down to a straight to the bed, to the gurney, so he didn't make any wagers. This is the sickness of wagering. And the season is about to start. I have 2 schedules in front of me. They're both at the beginning. And what you'll notice here is this. NFL preseason, Thursday. Atlanta at Washington up the street. Tampa Bay at Philly. Jacksonville at the Jets. Carolina at Baltimore. So within this beltway, you have not 1, but you have 2 NFL games to play. The question is this. Who cares? Do you care? I don't care. I'm not even looking at them. Because anybody that claims they have steam, I've been in this business for, now I can say it, 3 decades. And I hear people say, there's information, there's game plans, some coaches try, some coaches don't try. Listen. There's no air in this ball, right? Because there's no NBA going right now, right? But there's women's Olympic and men's Olympic basketball.
This looks like a woman's ball.
It looks like a woman's ball, right? Here's the bottom line. I want to talk about lines, because when you're betting on a game, we're getting into what we call the line-making time of year. This is my Line Trap Report 101. I am not here to talk about me. I'm not here to talk about how great I am. I'm not here to talk about me being a professional sports bettor and the biggest bettors in the world pay me, because I don't need to be redundant. It's a fact, and the facts never change. What I am here to talk about is the lines and how you guys get sucked in looking to play games, and how I can basically take my pulse by the people that I talk to and the phone calls I receive, by the bad bets and how much money people give up to the sports books offshore and in Las Vegas. So, where is the Olympics being held?
Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro. Now, I get a call early this morning, and one of my very active clients that can't keep his hand out of the cookie jar says, "Hey John, don't you think it's a good bet? Brazil in the Women's Olympics, because it's a home game and they have the crowd behind it." There's a perception that location matters because of where the event is being hosted. And I go back to, why would a line maker, remember, I do videos here sometimes with Kenny White in Las Vegas. I break bread with guys like Kenny White, some of the biggest line makers in the world. Why would you put a line up like 8.5 on Brazil, other than to suck people in to be playing women's basketball with no information, because the game is being played in Brazil? Now here's the deal. The last time they played and they lost 84-66, laying 11 points, losing. Then they come back, and keep in mind, Japan won by 4 against Belarus. Did I say it right? Because you're the Russian.
Belarus.
Say it again?
Belarus.
I said the Bela is too long. Belarus. And
You gotta sing the R's.
you sing it. I'll do the Latin languages. You can do the Russian languages. And then I look at this line today. I'm going, how can they make Brazil 8.5? Line trap, guys. You have to look back and look what two teams did the last time they played, and what the margin of victory was, and ask yourself, on a power rating situation, if you're going to handicap games on your own, why this line would be so high. The line dropped, I'm looking on the screen in some places, as low as 6, and then it popped right back up to 8.5. So you could have grabbed 6 for a minute. Did it matter if you grabbed 6? Absolutely not. Because the final score was Japan won 82-66. It was almost the same score as when they played Australia. So tell me, does it matter where the game was being played? Does it matter that the Olympics are being held in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil? They weren't saying obrigado. They weren't saying thank you in Portuguese. So what you have to understand is this. Don't get sucked in when regular football begins to line traps. Understand that when it comes to line traps, that means that the favorite is always going to be inflated because of public perception, especially on home teams, especially when large alumni money is behind top 25 teams. Ohio State. I'm watching TV last night, and I very rarely watch TV. What's the one show I'm watching right now? The only show to watch, Ray Donovan. Mm-hmm. It's like I'm watching me. So here's the bottom line. They took care of that Russian guy. Hey, I was thinking,
It's all right.
you got to do what you got to do, right? Here's the bottom line, because I can deal with East Coast roll, you know. A commercial comes on, and they're talking about this documentary about the Florida State, and they're going to show how they train the athletes and how they get them pumped up for the games and how they get them on the field. Have you seen that commercial?
I have.
Right. And they're pumping this up. Now, they pick certain schools to do these ESPN or whatever documentaries they're doing, and they pump this up. Well, obviously, there's a lot of alumni money behind certain schools. Ohio State. I mean, we're here are we in New York?
No.
We're not in New York. We're in Baltimore, Maryland. But let me tell you, on some college Saturdays, when you walk into certain establishments here in Baltimore, you think you're in Ohio. because they take over. The red is everywhere. You don't even know you're in Baltimore. It's just Ohio State Nation, right? I mean, there's such a large contingent of people that went to Ohio State that live here, you just think you're there. These people will bet Ohio State with reckless abandon. And so what is a line maker going to do to equalize the action on both sides of the team? He's going to inflate, like they said in the NFL, Brady inflated the balls. They're going to inflate the lines. When you understand this core principle that you're not betting on a money line, you're betting on a number. As me and Brian Blessing say on our 24-minute tutorial, it's all about the number. And that's why you can arbitrage, and you will hear people knock down and disespouse and disavow middling, because they don't understand. They're one-dimensional. They don't know how to treat their betting as a business. They want to bet with lack of intelligence and money management, not understanding that games hit key numbers. And so when you look at some of these games and understand this, what you will notice that the big schools, the top 25 schools, they will get a premium of 1 to 2 points, sometimes even 3 points, especially if they're at home. And it won't make a damn bit of difference if the power ratings don't match up early in the season. You could see these teams lose, like a couple years ago when Appalachian State blew out Michigan. So you went to University of Maryland?
I did.
So again, you got friends that you went to school with, you're 10 years younger than me, they're going to just bet Maryland no matter what the line is,
They're
right?
alumni for life.
And what about, I hate to say it, purple pain, the Ravens? Bet the Ravens. Well, I mean, you have friends brainlessly betting the Ravens no matter what, right?
No matter what.
And everybody who calls here is looking for confirmation of their own, what do you think of the game that I'm going to, addiction. And they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that real reality, because this is the time of the year where everybody calls up because they finally like the sport where they now before didn't like the sport. We're hitting, I think we've hit the last 10 CFL games in a row. Nobody knows about Canadian football. Nobody cares about Canadian football. Hell, the Canadians don't care about Canadian football. But what you have to understand is that now you think you have an opinion on regular football, and what you have to understand is your opinion means absolutely nothing. What you're really looking for is confirmation of your opinion. So here's my free advice. I don't give out free picks, but here's my free advice. Sign up for some pool. Have a little fun with your fantasy league if you really have an opinion and you enjoy prognosticating and picking games this season. And leave the actual single game wagering and trading to the professionals and the pros. Come in from the outside, come into the inside, and keep your opinion out of it. Don't suck into calling me on the phone and saying, because Brazil is playing in Rio, I'm going to lay 8.5, it's a home game.